Okay, welcome back to the Adventure Within channel. My name is Andrew Fritz. I'm a clairvoyant healer and meditation teacher. And today I'd like to talk about the topic of clairvoyant journaling. This is something I've been doing for the past few months. I think started last year, maybe sometime in October. And basically what I'm doing, I'm not in necessarily a super deep, meditative state, but I'll just be sitting somewhere and with my eyes open, I'll give myself an aura reading. There's 7 layers to the aura, and kind of each layer corresponds to different aspects of life. And I'll look at each layer, looking at mental image pictures and just seeing what's there and getting the energy, and kind of each step throughout this process, I'll write in my journal, exactly like a physical notebook. I'll write down, hey, this is what was happening in my first layer, and move on to the second layer. And then once I get that information, I'll jot down my notes about it. And I've really been enjoying this. And I find it especially helpful, anytime, if you go to a psychic, it's always helpful to, receive communication, or if you know how to read yourself, it's helpful in general, right? But it's really helpful when you're going through a time of change or a big shift or transition in your life. And that's kind of currently what's happening in my own life, kind of going through a big change. And so doing this, I wake up and do this usually pretty much every morning. And, I find it really helpful because, I start to get a snapshot of, what's going on. Might see some positive things, might see some, limitations. But it's a great way to kind of notice, oh, here's the energy I'm handling in a certain aspect of my life. And okay, that's not my energy, that's a relief. And then kind of taking a look at, well, where's my energy? But yeah, sometimes when you're going through these times of change, it is nice to get a reading, but this is the fun part about, developing your own abilities and being able to use those for yourself in your own life. And, especially when you're, like I said, going through a big shift, there tends to be uncertainty. You handle some doubts, and doubts typically from your ego or from other people's energy in your space. And you'll handle that doubt, and, fear can come up, and all sorts of things that you're kind of, taking risks in your life, or just, going through small or even really big changes. You'll handle some of that energy. And so it's nice to be in communication with yourself, and you start to get some answers for yourself and go, oh no, you know what? I'm just handling this energy. Everything's all right. Keep on keeping on. And so this is, again, some people have in their minds that, I'm not psychic, I couldn't do that, or, that's only for, they're just born with it, or it's just for the select few, the lucky, or whatever it is, whatever image they have in their mind about it. But, we all have these abilities, right? They're all within us, and we can access those abilities. And I say the most common ability that we can all relate to, most people might not call it being psychic, but it is. And again, psychic just means of or pertaining to the soul. So psychic ability, soul ability. But the one that we can all tend to relate to, just maybe not calling it psychic, it would be the clairsentience, so clear feeling. We all pick up vibes and kind of feel those in different situations, especially new experiences, whether you're meeting somebody new, you're on a first date, or you're, and you go on vacation, or you're traveling somewhere brand new and you're just kind of feeling out the vibe. Most people can relate to that, but they might not be aware or call it psychic, but it is. And there's different levels of being psychic, whether it's, say, like clairaudience, like hearing energy and hearing beings that don't have bodies, that might, such as spirit guides communicating with you, and being able to, with your clairvoyance, see energy as colors and symbols and mental image pictures, and gather information from that way, kind of more abstract intuition. And then your clear knowing, just your knowingness. Sometimes you just get this information or download or answer, and you don't know where it came from. And, then we get in those situations where do we act on that information or not? And when we do, we go, wow, thank God I followed through with that. And then there's times where I'm sure we've all experienced this, where we get an insight, kind of a higher intuition, and we don't do anything with it. We don't trust it. Maybe we just reject it or ignore it, or for whatever reason, and then something happens and we go, oh man, like I knew it, I should have just followed my intuition. That can happen a lot. So it becomes a game of starting to listen to that, pay attention to your intuition, and the more and more you get some certainty and trust. You're essentially trusting, learning to have more certainty in yourself as spirit, and trust, right? And when you get to that place, then tends to be a lot easier for you to actually follow through and actually act on the intuition that you might be receiving about whatever it is in your life, something small or something major or whatever it is. But out of those abilities that I just mentioned would be like your sixth chakra ability, clairvoyance, and we all have that. We can all tap into that, and I love it because you can start to really differentiate. You can really see clearly energy, and you can begin to differentiate. Oh, wait a second, this energy over here. Oh, now I'm waking up and realizing, this is not even my energy. This is not even me. And oh, thank God. Okay, I thought that was me, but it's actually not. Now I know that. Then you're gonna go, well, if that's not me, then what is my energy? Who am I? And that's the fun part. That's you're discovering. Then you're down a self-discovery path of, what is my essence like? What does it look like for my energy to set the tone? What does it look like for me to live my truth? And more and more you see your energy, right? First, initially, your initial aim is, I want to see my truth. But inevitably, all the lies, all the illusions in the way pop up. And you start kind of weeding through all those, pulling the weeds out, clearing out the junk mail, so that you can really see your truth. And the more and more you see your truth clearly, as it is, without all the judgment, and you start to gain some certainty. Now you go, oh, you know what? I've seen this plenty of times. I'm certain now that this is my energy. This is who I am. This is my essence. This is my truth. And when you gain that certainty, then you start to move towards a sense of seniority, that you're choosing your energy because it's so clear, so certain that this is my energy. This is going to set the tone now. And you're choosing your energy to be number one, a sense of seniority. And okay, well then if your energy is the number one energy, especially kind of running in kind of your energy system or your different chakras in the body, then kind of as that occurs, then you're going to notice changes happening in your life. Maybe you've been living a certain way, but then as you choose your energy, things are going to shift, and then you start living more of your truth out in all the different aspects of your life. And when we follow through with our intuition and start to live out our truth, we're more fulfilled, we're more happy, as opposed to walking down another path that a lot of us tend to get caught up in, whether it's related to ego or kind of basing things off of kind of the analytical mind and following through with kind of what we're programmed to do. And I would just call this kind of more like the route of fate. And that can really lead you down a path of lower emotions where you get caught up in being disappointed. It may seem like the safe bet and safe route, but and yeah, it can keep you safe, but you're ultimately not going to be really happy. And I've been there. I've done this. I've gone down the path enough where I've gone off of it, and been back on it and gone off of it, and now I have a lot of certainty of, when I'm off the train tracks, this is the experience, and it's not always that pleasant. And then when I'm on the tracks, I'm really enjoying life. I feel fulfilled. I feel content. I feel joy and happiness. It's not that things aren't challenging or that there's some tough days. That happens, right? But it's easier to get back to that sense of joy, that inner joy. But yeah, when you're following through with your higher intuition, yeah, you tend to be much more fulfilled. And for me, that's teaching. When I'm teaching and sharing my wisdom, I feel really content and really fulfilled. And that brings me a lot of joy because I've had people help me with this, going through my spiritual path and my journey and developing my abilities and intuition. And I have a lot of gratitude for that. And it's been really amazing and exciting. And I really have a great affinity for waking up and continuing to wake up at deeper levels. But I do enjoy helping people that are getting into a space where they're interested in spirituality, want to learn meditation, and hey, what are these out-of-body experiences about, or what's this lucid dreaming all about, and want to kind of wake up and learn how to tap into these different abilities that we all have. It's not the select few that have this. Anybody can tap into this. And it's just a matter of learning to turn within and take a look at these abilities and start to turn them on and have your own experiences. I can talk all day about it, and I'm not really interested in the game of trying to prove any of this kind of stuff. I don't even know if you could prove this stuff. I know something like lucid dreaming has been scientifically proven, but it's not really my interest in trying to prove things. It's just a matter of, hey, if someone's really interested and open in spirituality and learning to meditate, that they're ready to have different experiences, these inner experiences. And when you have that inner experience, then you go, whoa, okay. For example, when I was going to my school in Chicago, the psychic school, I was really resistant kind of to energy healing. And I later got my answer of why that was, but it felt very unreal to me when people were, because at that point I didn't take an energy healing class. But I was able to receive energy healings, and it felt really unreal until it got to a certain point where I could actually start feeling it. And I was like, wow, okay, this is pretty interesting now. And then I eventually learned to give the energy healings and be in these healing hours, this big room where we're giving healings, receiving healings, and it's a lot of fun, and you clear a lot of energy, and you feel so much different and better. There's times I can recall vividly one time where a woman was giving me a healing, and sometimes you have a sense of like, yeah, I'm in my space, I'm in my body, I'm present, right? And then I'm getting this healing, and as she's working on me energetically, I start to become aware of, oh, I'm not fully centered in my body. And she helped clear some energy, and boom, I got more kind of popped into my body in the center of my head. And it's just kind of like realizing, whoa, okay, like you have these little things that occur, these kind of inner experiences, and then it becomes more real to you, and it just gets even more exciting and more exciting. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of ranting along here and probably lost of what the original topic was, but hopefully you find this somewhat interesting. If you do, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.